Good morning and welcome to Precision Talk. I'm Marketing Manager Frank Olmstead with HTS Ag, and joining us this morning, Jay Robinson.
Good morning, Frank. How are you?
Fantastic. You are a technology advisor, which means you know a lot about our technology and you can advise farmers on what they need, how it works, and what the purpose of it all is.
Yes, yeah, kind of what makes their operation function. We always want it to return. So each case is different. So what works for the next guy might not. So we're there to kind of show you the options and what you can glean out of all that we have to offer.
So as far as options go, Jay, we were talking earlier about planter upgrades. Now it's probably to upgrade for the 25 season, but the 26 season,
yes,
rolling right along. And before you bury that thing in the back of the shed, I know our technicians would appreciate working on that in June and July, as opposed to February. And
absolutely, we've got a lot of great programs going on right now. It's one of those times where once you're done, you want to be done. It's a big event to get all your crop in the ground, and you just want to put it away and be done with all of that. But right now is the time that you know which rows didn't work. You know which bugaboos and gremlins you had to chase, or maybe it's been the last 3 years you've been chasing it, and it's getting really old. So now's a great time to look through that. It's fresh in your mind. We do have some more promos coming that will reveal more details as they come to us. But there will be some good opportunities to upgrade your planter, whether it's just going from sure stops to maybe an electric drive or just needing some downforce or both. That's what I'm here for. So give us a call and I can head out, take a look and see what equipment you have and what might be the best.
Absolutely. And then maybe your planter's set, Jay, but you could use some steering.
Yeah. Steering is a big thing. It's one of those where you might not think much about it, but once it's in the cab, it works really well. So we do have a lot of great steering promos going on right now, some unpublished, so give us a shout on that. We can work with you on see what you have, what you might be able to get rid of and upgrade from. So let us know on that, and it makes a big difference out in the field. And if you're not sure about it, call somebody who's got it.
Absolutely. and the great thing about the steering is that it's like a year-round piece of equipment that works with planting, it works with spraying, it works with tillage. Even in harvest, you can use it for the combine, or
yes,
the cart ace is another big thing. So,
and with the right pass that's going to be coming out, we have the passive implement steering. So instead of the globe on your tractor telling the computer where it thinks your planter is, it'll know exactly where your planter is. So as we move into harvest, your guidance will know exactly where the rows are, not where the tractor thought it was. And so your combine will be able to follow it better. So there's more to the right pass than just the strip tillage. So that's another thing that's going to be beneficial for beans and corn. I did have a couple of stories last year. It was so windy that guys couldn't see where they were combining beans. So they engaged that steering, and that makes a massive difference to keep you going. I didn't think about the wind causing you problems.
You're right.
So
it's too windy to fly a kite. It's never too windy to plant.
That's right. And combine, apparently there is, going the wrong way.
Absolutely. But, so with that leads us into Right Spot, which is something we can update your sprayer now, and you can use that pretty immediately.
Yes. And the Right Spot is a beautiful thing because if you want to try out section control first, we have L2. And then Right Spot just piggybacks right on top of that. So if you get the L2, you're already 75% of the way there. But with the Right Spot, I know we talk about this a lot, but nozzle by nozzle control, waterways shuts off individually as you go across. So you are saving a ton of chemical. Not overspraying, not underspraying. And then if you want to pair that steering with your Right Spot, you got a pretty close to autonomous sprayer if you have a self-propelled machine. Hit your headlands and then it'll turn off as you go, turn compensation on the outside so you're not smoking crop on the inside and missing it on the out. It's a very intuitive program. We've got a lot of data on how much it can save. And we can also put pencil to paper and number that out for you, see if it does the return that you're looking for.
Absolutely. And we've been posting on social media a graphic of what the Right Spot can do, and it's 18.3% less chemical, and that's because you're spraying 6.97% less acres in the field.
Yes. Yep.
So if you've got 1,000 acres, you're spraying 70 less acres in that field.
And that's a big... We all know what the chemical costs are,
right?
And just getting the machine out there and pumping all that stuff into there, it's time consuming. We want to not only get you as much money and make the most potential out of your ground, but we also don't want you to have to put it into the ground if you don't have to in the beginning. So saving on inputs is just as good as increasing that yield.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the Right Spot, you get 31% more acres done an hour.
Yes.
Which is a huge number. And just being done with it, I think, is a big load off a farmer's mind. So reduce that farmer fatigue, get in and out of the field a little bit quicker without sacrificing coverage, without sacrificing your yield. And I mean, the Right Spot and all of Ag Leader's products really have a return on investment that you can see pretty immediately. So
if you think about it, you could give your neighbor a head start and let him do a third of his field, and you'd still finish at the same time.
Yeah, I had time for my coffee this morning.
That's right. Who got up earlier? Who finished at the same time?
Absolutely. And then another advantage of HTS Ag is the OPI Green Management.
Yes. That is always a year-round thing, because I know guys are thinking about it in different times. It all kind of depends on when it works for you. But we have the CO2, the Headspace fan control, automated fan control. And I don't know if we've talked a lot, because I've had a lot of questions on that lately. The automated fan control, actually, you set the parameters and then you don't have to do anything with it. If you wanted to dry down corn, you can set it so that the moisture pumping into it is not more moisture than what's inside the bin, so you're not losing time. And if you're rehydrating beans, you can set it so that it doesn't pump any air in there that's less than what the beans are. So it'll kick off and on as the environment changes. So that's not something you'll have to control once you set it. But it gives a great idea of what's inside the bin. That's the piggy bank.
Yeah.
You know, you worked all year long to get it in there, and that's what you're going to go sell. Let's make sure it's prime condition to make sure you're not getting any docks and you know what's going on before something bad happens, and you can make a move.
Absolutely, or to reduce the spoil, or
absolutely,
and OP's coming out with those new cables that give you a pretty accurate level, up and down the bin. So that's a big advantage as well.
The Omni cable is going to be huge, because then it's going to give you an opportunity to see what your level is faster. Before it gives a reading every 60 seconds. The coloration is what people are looking at to see how far the bin was, and it wasn't coloring as fast, so you couldn't quite tell. But now that's changed. So guys in the combine looking to see how full his bin is when his semi leaves, well, he can see it. You can pull it up on your phone or your tablet or whatever it is, and you can see exactly how much is in that bin, and if you need to have somebody move to a next one. So it has a lot other applications for it. So it's just keep your eyes in the bin without having to do the sniff test.
Absolutely. So if you have any questions on Right Spot, planter upgrades, steering, OPI Green Management, give us a call. And don't forget, we've got those unpublished promotions that are going on. One of the big promotions that we do have that we can say is 199 financing for 3 years. So if you have any questions on any of the Ag Leader products or OPI Green Management, give us a call, 712-744-4468. You can find us on the web at htsag.com, or you can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat,
Name it, it's there, I think.
All of the socials at HTS Ag.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, Frank.